I'd like to share with you a little bit about what's been going on and how I have had the honor of supporting someone who is actively leaving this plane as we speak. They are in hospice, and it's only a matter of time. And this was a client that I've worked with. She's taken my class before, and then I worked with her individually as she was going through chemo and going through all these things. And I love her dearly, and I'm going to miss her, incredibly miss her a lot. And, a couple months ago, she had asked me, when the time comes, will you come and be with me? And I was a yes, I will be there. I will 100% be there. So the time came, and her daughter had texted me, and I was running our equine healing retreat, which was, I can't describe. It's hard to describe the level of healing that happened for these group of women on a soul level, a quantum level, a personality level. It's just, it's mind blowing. So I got to finish that first before I went there. So I left a little bit later than I normally would have. So I left on Tuesday. The retreat ended on Monday, and I flew out. And I spent 3 days with her and her daughter. They had other family members there, but I was mainly spending time with her daughter. And I've never sat with someone who was dying before. My husband had cancer when my daughter was a baby, but that's why we've only had one child, because he was really, really sick when she was younger. And it was awful and hard, but he never sat in the death portal. Like, he probably came close a couple of times, but it wasn't anyway. But I've never had that experience, and it was an honor. And it's beyond sacred to be in that space. And I was feeling very protective of her. Like, if people started coming in and talking about politics and all these things, like, while standing over her, and her husband was trying to engage me in that. And I started doing it. I was like, we really know, like, this has to be a clear, clean space. And because every little thing matters, everything that's said, everything that's done in a space like that matters. It's like being in the temple of someone's soul. And what I learned from that was, I learned so much, but when they say make every day count, make it count, make it count, make it count. And then we go on with our lives and we're like, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing. And then we hit up against something, and then we got to remember to be connected. We got to remember to be growing. We got to be remember to be loving. We got to remember all these things. And then that something happens, and then, many of us will forget, right? I'm really beginning to see how fast time is going. It is going at warp speed. It's like, it is going so fast. I am 51 years old. And yes, there were long days and long moments, but it's gone by like that. And I remember doing an ayahuasca ceremony. This was years ago when I was doing it more regularly. I haven't done it since before COVID. No. Yeah, since before COVID, because I didn't want too much energy to open up to sit in medicine for me. Anyway, but I saw in the medicine one day that this lifetime, because we have so many lifetimes, we just keep getting born, and then we die, and then born, and then we die. And sometimes we stay in the human cycle, and sometimes we go off and do something else with other beings and other galaxies and other dimensions. But many of us right now are in Earth school, and shit, we're not getting, there's like, okay, I didn't learn this time again, so I'm gonna, I gotta go back and do it all over again. We can't avoid. There's no avoiding your karma. There's no avoiding your soul's mission, and there's no avoiding your growth. So things are moving at a warp speed. So with these things that I saw and I learned, it was like, yes, every moment, every day is precious. My time with my family, time with my friends, time with my clients, those days that I feel tired and I'm like more like, oh my gosh, I just want to rest. Yes, I want to honor myself and rest, but every day is precious. Every day. And if you're holding back on doing your soul work, there's no avoiding it. We'll just do it. You'll just come back and do it again. I've done it again. My life was hard when growing up. And I have an idea of why I chose it. There's so much I was learning from it. And I don't want to make that mistake again. I don't want to do that. Not a mistake. That's not the right word. I don't want to make those choices again. I want to learn now. And sitting with my client in I won't say her state, sitting with her where I flew, I was there doing soul work. I know her very well. So I was there doing soul work for her. And she was asking me spirit to spirit, to help clear and clean some things up for her and help her in her spirit world. I know her guides. She works very closely with the angels. And there were some things that she really needed to do before she moved on. And I'm going to continue to check in on her. But there's no avoiding. There's no pushing it under the rug. There's no what's the word? Not gaslighting. Bypassing. There's no bypassing. You can bypass for years and 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 years, and you won't. It's still going to be there, and it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. And as we're entering into this uncertain time, all of us are living in uncertainty right now. We don't know what's going to happen with the election. We don't know what's going to happen. People don't like that. People don't like the uncertainty. But one thing that is certain is your relationship to yourself and your relationship to God and spirit. Those things we can make certain. Those are the things that we know we can be in, not even control, but be in deep relationship with. So send a prayer, please, to her as she's transitioning into the next realm. Send a prayer to her and make every day count. Make it count. Do the work that needs to be done. This is the time of the spiritual warrior. You're a spiritual warrior. As spiritual warriors, we don't bypass. We don't hide. We show up for ourselves and for the journey that we're on. And being with my client was like, oh my gosh, life is this journey we are on, as painful as it may be sometimes, it's sacred. It's incredibly sacred. All right, I love you. My name is Beth Osmer, and I'll see you on the next video.